We'd like to welcome you to our Democratic Press Conference press briefing today. We want to give you an update on some of the things that are happening up here on Capitol Hill. We have great news as far as the budget goes. As you know, the revenue estimates came in higher, and so this means that some of the drastic cuts that were taken earlier in the session will not need to go through. So actually, we as Democrats believe that it was unfortunate and it was quite premature that we were asked to cut our budgets by 7% at the beginning of the session. And we've spent most of our time in our Appropriations Committee meetings for the first 2/3 of the session, going through those budgets and looking for places where we could cut, rather than looking at programs, looking at what's been effective, what's been ineffective, maybe some places where we do need to cut, but also some other programs that maybe need some increases. So now we have just a few days left, and we've got to kind of scramble and figure out what we're going to do with these budgets. So anyway, the great news is that there is some money there. Utah's economy has turned the corner. We're headed in the right direction, and everything has stabilized. We have, jobs, the job increase. Workforce Services reported to us that jobs increased by 15,300 in 2010. That's great news, 1.3% increase in jobs, and the projection is for a 1.4% increase in jobs in 2011. So things really are looking better, and I am so pleased, to be able to tell our citizens that, and to let them know that hopefully the worst is over. Now, I wanted to talk to you a minute about the education budget in particular. Unfortunately, those cuts were 11.2%, and that's how the budget sits right now. Right now, as you know, we don't have funding for growth. We've cut $217 million out of the Social Security retirement benefits for our teachers, but I do believe that there is going to be a strong effort to put that back into the budget. We have been assured that there will not be the 11% cuts, and that there will not even be the 7% cuts when we come out of the session. So that is the great news. But the programs that we're trying to get reinstated, first of all, are the WPU line item, Social Security retirement, but then we also need to fund growth. We haven't funded the new growth in our public school system for the last 2 years. This year, that needs to happen, and that will take $61 million to do that, $61 million of ongoing money. And so that is a top priority of Democrats, that we make sure that those new children that are coming into the system this fall will be adequately funded. And then we have several other programs that we're trying to get reinstated. The K-3 reading improvement program money is vital. We have to keep reading specialists in our schools, helping these children read by the end of 3rd grade. We need to have money in the budget for a variety of other programs, vital services that were cut. One of those services was buses, getting the children to and from school. I mean, that has to be a priority, and so we're working to get that back into place. So anyway, there are many other programs, but if you would like to, we'd like to open it up for questions before on this, and then should we have you speak first on your issue? Why don't I turn the time over to our whip in the House, Representative Brian King.
Thank you. Brian King's my name. I'm the Assistant Minority Whip in the House, and I wanted to make a few comments addressed to immigration. As you all know, this has been a difficult issue for us, and we've been dealing with and are being faced with a number of bills concerning immigration. In the House, we've taken votes on Representative Sandstrom's enforcement bill, HB 70. Also took a vote yesterday on Representative Wright's bill, HB 116, dealing with guest worker program. We've got other bills coming along. Representative Wimmer's repeal of in-state tuition for non-citizen students is coming before us later today, I think. These are very difficult issues, and very difficult issue. It's a very difficult position that the inaction of the federal government puts us in. And we understand the frustration of Utah citizens on this issue. The struggle that we have is, because it is such a complex issue, we continue to feel that it's at the federal level the best solution is to be found for these issues. And we are concerned that moving ahead with trying to put into place solutions at the state level are just going to create more problems than they solve. So we don't have a uniform position in the House as a Democratic caucus, other than to believe that the principles of the Utah Compact that have been put together are sound, they make sense, they're compassionate, and yet they also require compliance with the law and a commitment to work together as Utahns to come up with common sense solutions for this very difficult issue involving immigration. So we'll continue to see what develops. I know that there are things going on in the Senate that are quite different than things that are going on in the House. Senator Brandon is working to try to come up with a comprehensive bill that melds some of the aspects that we're dealing with involving enforcement, guest worker, in-state tuition, and other aspects of immigration that are really thorny. And we'll see what comes out of that process. We're a long ways from home in terms of where we as a legislature end up on the immigration issue. And we'll just see what happens. But we're struggling to come up with the best solution we can on these issues and make the most intelligent best solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative King. I'd like to open it up now to questions from you.
Senator Brambl's bill on immigration follows the principles of the Utah Compact. Is that something you think the Democrats would be supportive of?
It's hard to know at this point because we haven't seen the language in that bill. I know that they've been meeting, and we've had some members of our caucus actually were sitting in on those meetings. But at this point, we're not sure where he's coming down on various issues.
Yeah, I know Senator Bramble feels strongly that the principles of the Utah Compact make sense. He tells us that he's working to incorporate them to the greatest extent possible in the final version of his bill. I think he's been working very hard on it. I've been working with him, as a number of the other members of the Senate and House Democratic Caucus have been working with him, as well as many other people. And I think that's still a little bit up in the air. I hope that it is that what comes out of that process from Senator Bramble is a good synthesis of those principles, but it remains to be seen.
Is a bill that includes Representative Sandstrom's style of enforcement along with guest worker program, is that something that you guys find acceptable?
I think that the devil's in the details on these things. I mean, it's difficult for me in many ways to see how the two can be synthesized very easily or very well. But look, there are people that are working very hard to come up with a solution that synthesizes the interests that various members of the legislative body have in a way that makes sense and that will garner the greatest number of votes possible. So we'll just have to see.
I also wanted to say that it's difficult for the Democrats to take any one position on this because of the areas that everyone represents and the diversity in those areas and where their constituents stand on each of the bills.
I wanted to mention, as a member of the Rules Committee, the Senate Rules Committee, it was interesting today. There was a motion made to move